let's take a look at this incredibly nostalgic duck that I have no idea who he is. Why do I know you? I don't know you, but I know you. Count Vegetarian.
Hey, Count Duckula.
From the brand Happy Childhood. And where did I get it from? You guessed it. 5K Toys, yes. And the link is in the description, don't ask. Great artwork on the box. We have a name that's not really his name. It's probably an unlicensed figure is what I'm gonna guess, right? You would just say Count Duckula if you had the license to this thing. This is, I guess, what's happening. However, all of the text and everything that's in here is basic. I mean, look, it's spelled weird. Duckula. Not to be confused with the vampire duck Quackula from Mighty Mouse. This is Count Duckula, originally seen in Danger Mouse. He gets his own show as a spin-off from Danger Mouse. 65 episodes were made, each about 22 minutes long. Since Count Duckula is a form of a vampire duck, unfortunately, this reincarnation of this character didn't go according to plan. A ritual is to be performed and it requires blood. However, in this case, they gave him ketchup. The back of the box, we're gonna get some more text that you can read with your eyeballs and your brain. I don't wanna do that. I wanna take this thing out of the box and look at it because we can see pictures on the internet all day long. Bottom of the box, that there's stuff and it's choking hazard and all that. So let's just flip the flap. We see the artwork, we see the figure covered up with some paper. So let's cut him out and see what this guy's all about. Cut him out, see what he's about. That's fine. 2 tiers of plastic. That means you're gonna get a lot of accessories, and for $47, I'm gonna say that this thing is probably a good value because look at all those heads. But let's get this paper, and hopefully his joints and stuff are good because look at what's going on with his foot. There we go. Look at all those accessories. You get a lot of stuff. That's really nice. I love that there's multiple heads, all these extra hands, and you might remember this guy from the show. Maybe you saw it, or maybe you've seen Danger Mouse because he showed up a few times in that and had a little bit of a different personality, but then went off and got his own show. Like, look at this head. Look at that face. How is that not full of nostalgia by itself? This just looks like everything from its time period, but with this hair. Which is great. A few things right off the bat I'm gonna notice is that maybe there's some loose joints. Like this foot seems pretty loose. The hips and stuff seem okay. The knees seem okay. The head, I think is gonna be all right. Maybe it's just this one foot. It could just be like a one-off issue. Let's get into all these accessories because there's a lot in the box, which is really great. So we got this carrot with the face on there. Look at that. He's ready to bite back, okay? This is Count Vegetarian, Count Duckula. He's a vegetarian. He doesn't suck blood because tomato juice or something got into the thing when, I don't know. I'm gonna add some information for you. We got broccoli. Look at that broccoli. Yummy. You know, any kid in their right mind would hate broccoli watching this show. I don't think that would help you. Maybe he was trying to get kids to eat vegetables. Wouldn't have worked on me. We have a cane, which has some nice sculpt work there. The good details, I like it. And the colors are simple, but it is very cartoon, so it works really well. And then this magnifying glass, which does have a piece of plastic in there, which is nice. It helps kind of complete the look. We got these, which look like a couple toys, I'm guessing. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what these things are. Somebody in the comments tell me those eyes look a little red. Chris, you know about those. Look at that guy. He's also enjoyed something to get those eyes so red. We have a left and right of this pointing hand, which is always good to help with expressions, so I dig that. You can use a nice pointing finger in a few different ways. You got this open, kind of relaxed hand, which is also nice to have instead of just fists, which is what he's got on by default. So I don't think he was known to be doing some punchies. You got a left and right of this, which should hold the cane, and then probably the magnifying glass. And you have this, which I'm guessing is just where you do that sign to your friends and then punch them, or you are just doing like an okay hand. Probably an okay. Probably okay. And this one, which seems like a kind of, I don't know, like a monstrous grabbing, reaching because of maybe that's the vampire side of him. Alternate faces. This is great because, man, do I love having alternate head sculpts to really give you some character to the characters. Yeah, it's always weird how that works. So you got a blinking eye where you could have like a punched eye, but that's definitely blinking. And then you get this one where he's like, oh, a little depressed. Oh no. You get this one where he's looking like he's maybe scared because the eyebrows. potentially having a good time depending on what you need there. And this one where he's going full veggie mode, okay? This is why you got to be careful when you're a vegetarian, because sometimes you need to get your proteins because you're not getting that from other stuff. So make sure you get your proteins so you don't go into this rage mode and, you know, get fangs for no reason. You don't need fangs when you're eating vegetables. And the head that's on there by default is just a kind of smiley neutral pose, which is totally fine. Like I said, he's got his punchy fists by default, his little tuxedo, his hair, the details, the colors are great. I like what they've done here. I hope this brand has done some other stuff, like maybe more mainstream characters, because, you know, at the end of the day, this doesn't have meaning to me because I'd never watched this show, but he has that style, the look of that time period, that really does pull that nostalgia. I conveniently named show, I guess. And you get his cape, which is just gonna pop on easy. That was simple. Looks like it's gonna come on and off a little easier than you want it to, but this is nice. This is a good piece. I like having the extra details there and then being able to take that off. But we gotta look at the articulation because I'm not sure how this guy is gonna hold up. Let's take a look at the head. So you're getting some wobble, some range there. You can kind of look down. You can barely look up. So I don't think they're gonna make the other characters, but if they did, those characters were all much larger than this guy. So he's not really gonna get that look up at them. These shoulders go out into a T pose. You get some 90-degree elbows. It's all pretty simple. It moves fairly well. The joints seem like they could be questionable. So I don't think this is going to be a guy that you like really use as an action figure. This is a put him together and leave him there figure. The hand is on a ball joint, which allows you to get multiple angles out of it. There's no body articulation, not that he really needs it. The legs have ball joints, so they can go pretty much anywhere you would want them to go. So he could be an action figure pose if you need him to do some karate kicks. The knees are going to be 90 degrees. You're going to notice this difference between this like colored plastic and the painted plastic. So the legs are painted yellow, and then you notice this yellow plastic for the joints. And, you know, people always tell me, I think Kiki Loose Joint is a brand that you could put on stuff like this to help lock those joints down. Something you definitely need if you buy Super 7 figures most of the time. He seems fine in the joint area. I have that loose foot, which might be a concern. I don't know. I did some posing. I managed to get something out that you were noticing while watching this video. And usually I say that cartoon figures need black outlines, but I think this is getting away with it because there's such a deep shadow going on around the eye and the skin, plus the contrast of the colors. So even the yellow and this white stand out a lot compared to something like The Simpsons from Super 7, which it's just a Simpsons character. I think you just have to outline the eyes. This is getting away with it for whatever reason. The reasons I just said, probably. The head pops off very easily, this tiny little peg underneath. So this guy, yeah, I mean, this isn't a huge brand. So I think we're gonna have to be a little forgiving on some of these things. They're doing a good job. Oh, there you go. The blinking eye is not also a blinking or punched eye. It's a look through the magnifying glass eye. So that works incredibly well. Glad they put that in there. And there he is holding the cane. I wonder, you're not gonna really get other options of him holding the cane. You might be able to get this hand on there. It might be a little weird though. Anyway, this is fun. This is they've done a really nice job on this. Again, being an unlicensed product from a brand that I'm not really familiar with, this is really well done. And I think for 47 bucks, you get a lot of stuff, maybe a loose joint here or there. I feel like the value is there. I think this is good. I like what they've done here, and I really, like I said, would like to see some more mainstream characters, because even at this level, that's probably stuff that I would want to keep, especially from stuff that's very nostalgic from this time period. The 80s? Is that the 80s? I don't know. If you want to see some more stuff that comes from 5K Toys, then click the top link there. I love that figure. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.